Ruger LCP II in 22 long rifle. This thing, wow, I would never have imagined that I would like this gun that much. So let's go ahead and dive into this review. I'm really excited to bring this to you. This is definitely not a gun I would have seen myself liking this much when I picked it up, and over the last 1,200 rounds that I have put through this gun without cleaning, yeah, I have definitely learned a lot. Somebody would have told me a year ago that, hey, you're going to pocket carry a 22 sometimes and you're going to feel like good about it, I'd have thought they were crazy. I don't think that I've ever carried a 22 defensively before this. But, and again, let me reiterate before somebody loses their mind. I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying that I'm even adequately prepared to defend myself. But what I know is that there are situations where a gun like this, literally, it's clear, but a gun that is literally the size of my hand, almost, is the only thing that I can get away with. And it's definitely better than not having a gun, right? I mean, I don't know anybody that wants to get shot with this. That being said, I much rather would have my EDC, my 509 Tactical, this one is not clear, than my LCP II. But there are going to be situations, clothing, attire that you have to wear, places you're going where that's not an option, or where if you get caught with a gun, you're in trouble, and we'll just leave it at that. This may be the way to go. And again, I'm not advocating that you do this. I'm not advocating that you carry where you shouldn't, or you guys are adults. But there are situations where a discreet 22 that holds 10 rounds in the mag, mind you, 10 rounds, is absolutely better than nothing, or better than wishing you had a gun. There's a little magazine, 10 rounds, there, that's it, guys, that's it, 10 rounds, rock on, right? So, we're not going to really get into the 22 as a defensive caliber debate today. That is probably going to outlive me, and I'm not particularly old, and I hopefully live a long, healthy life. So, I do have to say, though, I've been very impressed with this gun. Not only is it a practical gun, and convenient gun, I mean, even as a yard work gun, throw it in your pocket. If you come on a copperhead or something like that, good to go. If you need to, you just leave them alone, whatever. It might be a good tool for aggressive dogs. You know, you're out in the yard with your kids, aggressive dog comes your way. They're not hard to shoot. There's very little recoil. You can shoot them very quickly. And that is why I would pick this over the 380 counterpart, because I don't really, I wouldn't carry a 380 like this. The situation dictates that I need this. I want to be able to put those shots as quickly as I can, and I feel like you can do that much faster with a 22 than a 380. The other thing about this gun is it's just fun to shoot. And I know people are saying, oh, that little, with those sights, they really can't be that much fun to shoot. We got a demo. Now, you guys know that I am not particularly a super skilled marksman. Not 22 plinkster with a 22. And this gun has very rudimentary sights, crude sights. Anyway, there's a steel silhouette. It's going to be over there. Yeah, I actually did it. I actually managed to point at the target on camera. That's kind of cool. Round of applause for me. Anyway, neighbor was over here with his rangefinder not all that long ago. That is 36 yards from where I'm standing. So, I told you this gun was fun to shoot. We're going to see if I can repeat what I did the other day and actually hit that silhouette. No promises. Missed a few. Again, I mean, it's 36 yards with a tiny pistol with pimples for sights. But yeah, I mean, so typical 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards. That's a neat little plinking gun. This is actually kind of fun. Yeah, missed a few more that time. So, is the gun accurate? Yeah, I mean, I didn't put it on B8s or anything like that. I didn't, wasn't shooting bullseye with it, but is it center mass a given target at typical self-defense distances? Yeah. Is it easy to shoot? Yes. Does it have a good trigger? No. And we'll talk about that. So this is not a striker fired gun. This is a true single action gun. It is clear. But I'll try to do a little show and tell here. The gun is clear for anybody that cares. If you look back in there, if I can get the camera to focus, let's see. There, you see a little opening? That nice little opening? If I pull the trigger, I don't know how well you can see it, but the hammer fell. That click you heard was a hammer falling. Yes, I dry fired a rimfire. It's my gun, guys. It's going to be okay. So it is a true single action, and it has a heavy trigger. I don't have a trigger pull gauge to give you guys an exact reading, but it is heavy. At least it feels that way. Is that a deal breaker? No. I mean, this gun is marketed as a pocket carry gun. It comes with a pocket holster in the box, and it does have a manual safety on the side. But things happen, right? Especially if it's in your pocket, like so, keys, something. I mean, it could happen. The safety could get pushed off. I like it kind of having a heavy trigger. This is not a gun that I need a match grade trigger at 50 yards. At least I shouldn't. If this is all I have and I'm 50 yards away, I should be running and maybe throwing some suppressing fire. No, I'm just kidding. Suppressing fire is a bad idea in the self-defense world. So, very cool gun. It has a lot of features that lend it well for the concealed carry self-defense world. You have forward serrations, nice aggressive serrations. I've never had an issue getting purchase on that slide at all. And that's even out here right now where I'm basically swimming because of the humidity. No issues there. You have little ears here on the back of the slide. They're becoming very popular. They're on things like the VP9. I think they're great. They don't add that much width to the gun, certainly not in this case. And very easy to slingshot it if need be. It's very cool. The other thing is these sights, I use the term sights loosely, they're kind of rounded off. There's nothing that's going to hang up. You have a very aggressive grip on there. Again, this is the LCP II. It is much improved over previous iterations as far as the overall design, at least in my opinion. You've got a very nice aggressive grip. It kind of thicker here at the back. Fits in the hand well. It's comfortable, at least to me, and I wear a size large or sometimes extra large gloves, so you know, I don't have small hands. I've got very big hands. You guys can see my trigger finger. I sound like Donald Trump. I've got my trigger finger is almost all the way out. My trigger finger, index finger. My index finger is almost the entire length of the gun. So you do need to be careful if you go for a typical thumbs forward grip. You're right there at the end. At least I am. You can actually feel the heat from the gas as the round goes off. On the tip of your thumb. Nothing crazy, but yeah, it's something to watch for. Takedown on this gun is going to be interesting. I'm not going to take it down on camera for you because YouTube seems to think that that is teaching you how to create or modify weapons. But I will tell you how it works. To take the gun down, you're actually going to pry this pin out and then it will come apart. Not the easiest thing in the world, but I don't think that you're going to be field stripping this. Speaking of maintenance, I have not cleaned the gun since I got it. It has been fired over 1,200 times with no cleaning and did not malfunction until today shooting. So for a 22 rimfire, ammo is typically pretty dirty. I was shooting bulk lead round nose blazer ammo through it, so I will consider that acceptable performance out of a gun like this. I would clean it. I would especially make it a habit to get in that little cavity there in the back of the slide, because I can see a whole bunch of pocket lint. I'm not sure how well you guys can see in there, but it is definitely dirty because of, again, that opening on the rear of the gun. Now I'm sure there's a purpose for that, perhaps to see that the hammer's cocked. I'm not sure. If anybody knows, let me know in the comments. I would be curious to know why Ruger did that. But there is that. I will say that carrying this gun in my pocket in the heat of Georgia summer has not been too hard on it. I figured I might potentially see some rust and things like that. I have not. I've seen a little bit of discoloration on the side, but it wipes clean with just a tiny little bit of oil and it's gone. Nothing major, nothing that concerns me. Your trigger, I'm going to dry fire it again. You guys, some of you guys are going to lose your mind. Trigger has one of those little safety dinguses there in the middle, safety blade, whatever. Pull that, quite a bit of travel, and then you hit a wall. Pretty crisp break. Go ahead and hold it down and give you guys the reset since I switched hands. Not a bad reset, especially on a gun this small. Now, one thing I will show you, take the mag out. It does have a magazine disconnect. Not the biggest fan of that, but it is what it is. I've learned to live with it. Don't love it, don't even like it, but it's there. Magazines, the gun ships with one in the box. It is a steel primarily with a base plate that helps add to the grip. Magazines have held up well. I've got a couple spots where I don't know if they didn't apply the finish uniformly or if I have dinged it at some point. There's a little rust spot. Again, wipes clean very easily. Nothing like eroding the integrity of the structure, but it's there. It does come with one in the box. Additional magazines are fairly easy to find. They typically come in a 2-pack, and I think they're about $35 for 2 more, which magazine quality's been good. 10 rounds in the mag, which is interesting when you consider that there it is. It's tiny, and a lot of guns, semi-auto 22s only hold 10 rounds, and they're a lot bigger. So the way to load them, there is no tab to pull down like you would typically see on a rimfire mag. You just push down and back. Works pretty well. Watch for these feed lips. They're not particularly sharp, but if you run your finger into them the wrong way or it goes up underneath the fingernail, it does not feel good. It may make you use some fancy words. But they function well. I have no complaints there. The gun itself has just been awesome. It's a lot of fun. Even if it was something that I didn't have any kind of practical use for, you know, deep concealment, backup gun, whatever, I think it's a fun gun. It's not the best plinker in class for the semi-auto 22 class. That honor would go to the Taurus TX22 currently, based on my experiences. But as just a neat little gun to keep around, I really like this gun. It's become one of my favorites of 2020. So in a year full of unexpected things, here's another one. The barrel is kind of neat. I want to touch on that. It's a stainless steel barrel. Very nice looking. Very, just the silver really sets the gun off. Sets the look off a little bit. Makes it appear pretty high class in my opinion. As high class as a tiny pocket 22 can be. It does have like a little divot there at the end. That's part of the function with the slide, I believe. But yeah, very cool gun. It is a tilt barrel design, so not a fixed barrel, but you do get pretty good accuracy out of a 2-inch barrel, I think. So that's going to be it, guys. If you have experiences with the Ruger LCP II and 22 long rifle, drop a comment. Let these folks hear from more than just me. As always, this gun, I've got no reason to lie to you about it. It is my own personal gun. I have no obligation to Ruger to tell you good things about this gun. They don't know who I am, and quite frankly, I don't need them to like me. So if I'm giving you my honest thoughts on the gun, and there it is, folks. Would I get another one of these? Yeah, I really would. I've actually kind of been thinking about getting the 380, even though I'm not a fan of 380, just to kind of put these two head to head and see who comes out on top. wanted to give a huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. I honestly, I don't even know what to say. Like, it's so humbling that you guys like the content enough to do that, and it means the world to me. So thank you for what you do and continue to do each month. If you are interested in becoming a Patreon and financially helping out with some of the expenses with the channel, you're under no obligation to do so, but it does mean a lot to me. There's going to be a link in the description. Guys, thank you for watching. Stay safe. Keep shooting. I'll see you next time.